Ħafna nies jinkwitaw li jekk għandhom karozza ġdida jew forsi anke waħda li ilha ftit għandhom, il-protezzjoni taż-żeba u tas-seats minn ġewwa. X'jiġri jekk perkażu għasfur ħammex fuq bonnet? Ħadd tebbaħħilek il-karozza jekk twaqqa' xi ħaġa ġol-karozza fuq is-sit. Ħadd tebbaħħhom? Jeżistu soluzzjonijiet biex allavolja l-karozza tgħaddi minn dawn is-sitwazzjonijiet, xorta ħsara lill-karozza ma ssirx. Miegħi għandi il-Justin Bosley li fil-fatt qiegħed hawn Malta huwa espert propju fuq dawn l-affarijiet u jiena ħadt l-opportunità biex nitkellem ftit miegħu. First of all, I'd like to welcome you to Malta and to the show. As I explained to our viewers, you buy a new car or you have an existing car, and there's the concern that if something does fall on the car, I mentioned bird droppings, this is going to actually stain the paintwork. Particularly today where manufacturers have had to move to water-based spray. Are there solutions to try to avoid your paintwork being stained?
If you look at every new car that leaves the factory, if you see them on transporters, see them on the road, see them on the trains, they have a coating, a plastic film on them or a chemical coating. The reason is because before the vehicle arrives to the car dealership, wherever it is overseas or whatever country, the vehicle manufacturer has to take responsibility for the protection of the paintwork. If a vehicle is delivered to an importer or a car dealership and there is damage on the paintwork, then it is the responsibility of the vehicle manufacturer to rectify that paint damage.
So what you're saying is that even the manufacturer puts this coating to protect the car against the elements, so once the client buys it, then he too should try to take precautions to avoid damage to the spray.
People believe that every new car comes with a warranty, an engine warranty, mechanical warranty, metal warranty, and yes, they do come with a paint warranty. The paint warranty is guaranteeing the paint itself. It does not guarantee the damage that pollution, chemical pollution, fallout can actually cause to the vehicle's paintwork. When the protective film is removed at the dealership or the import centre, it is the responsibility of the car dealership, the import centre, to protect the vehicle's paintwork whilst it is in storage. Okay. When the customer takes delivery of that vehicle, yes, there is a paint warranty, but that paint warranty does not cover the protection of the vehicle's paintwork. That is the customer's responsibility.
So what solutions actually exist to try to avoid this damage happening to your vehicle?
The vehicle is delivered or picked up by the customer. The surface of the paintwork is normally dry. Okay, it is exposed to the elements. There are paint protections which are available. They are applied directly on top of the vehicle's paintwork surface. They form a barrier in between the paintwork and the outside elements. So before any damage can be caused to the vehicle's paintwork, they have to penetrate first the paint protection. The paint protection is not a polish. A polish is normally applied by the customer themselves. It is to rectify work, it is to rectify damage which has already been caused to the vehicle's paintwork. The best solution is, whilst the vehicle's paintwork is in a new condition, is to protect it before any damage can happen.
Obviously many products exist, but when one is choosing, what are the main criteria that he needs to keep in mind?
What the product covers against, what the paint is protected against. If there is a very clear answer, if you have your vehicle paint protected, anything chemical, any pollution that can fall onto the surface of the vehicle's paintwork, all this can cause damage to the vehicle's paintwork, whether it is hot conditions or cold conditions. There must be a clear answer as to what the vehicle is protected against. Chemical, climatic, fallout and pollution. Physical damage, no.
Are there any of these paint protections on the market that are actually guaranteed once applied professionally?
A majority of the paint protections do come with an official written warranty. The terms and conditions of the warranty from each paint protection manufacturers vary. Some paint protection companies require that you return for a retreatment. Some of the better paint protections, they are applied once and they are guaranteed for the duration of the time that the customer keeps the vehicle.
To be honest, there are a few issues that probably Maltese car owners are particularly scared of. I'd mention a few: bird droppings, salt maybe from seawater, etc., and possibly sap from the trees, apart from their cars fading. Would a good product cover against all this?
If the customer is expected to pay money for a product to be professionally applied, they must see benefit. The benefit in that paint protection would be guaranteed protection against salt water, bird droppings, tree sap and fading from ultraviolet light. There must be clear benefits to the customer which are mentioned in the guarantee. Otherwise, there is no benefit for the customer to have a paint protection applied.
That's fair enough. We spoke about the protection of the car on the outside. What about the upholstery? Is there a solution for people not staining their car seats?
Yes, there is also a guaranteed interior protection which, if any liquids are spilled onto the cloth or the seats of the car, which can otherwise stain and affect the appearance of the interior fabrics, then there is a guaranteed protection which will stop this happening. Only applied professionally, and it has the same guarantee as the exterior protection.
Okay, and it protects primarily against kids dropping stuff, and what does one do if a child feels sick on the seat?
If it's not fabric protected, then the ice cream, the liquid, it will go into the surface fabric. The water will evaporate and it will leave a stain. It is then the responsibility of the mother or father to remove the stain. If the interior fabric protection has been carried out, if it cannot go into the surface of the fabric, if it cannot go into the fabric, it will sit on top.
So literally you just wipe it off?
Yes, this is a guaranteed protection. It will sit on top of the fabric.
Justin, thank you very much for that information. I'm sure our viewers found it as interesting as I did. Dawn huma soluzzjonijiet kif wieħed fil-fatt jista' jipproteġi kemm il-spray minn barra u anke tapizzerija minn ġewwa kontra dbajja u problemi oħra.